the audience
Hello.
of our weekly
Yes.
cloud talk show.
Weekly. It's kind of it's getting a bit like that really at the moment, isn't it?
Strongly.
I'm just going to bring down the volume of the outside. 20 decibels will be fine. Look at those bright orange patches. Just check that out with the standard. See, even without, they're still there.
They're still there.
Yeah. Keep seeing a lot of planes and hearing a lot of loud, fast-moving noises, but I'm not really sure the planes are flying that often. I think, considering what's going on at the moment, I'm kind of surprised at the amount of air traffic that's happening.
Or it's cargo.
Yes, but they keep flying over here. This is the silly thing. It's almost like I draw them here, and this is the thing I keep thinking about. I keep thinking I'm drawing them here somehow. Oh goodness, am I going to have more problem? Hopefully, look at that. Look at that redness.
Yeah, that is weird.
Look at the way it's swirling.
Not the usual sunset.
It looks like it's swirling around itself, and I can see it with my naked eyes as well. It looks like there's something drawing both of those areas in. Look at that. Look at it, Willie. Look at the way it's swirling.
Yep, I'm looking.
Okay, we'll put that back on again.
It's still quite bright in normal light also.
Oh, bloody hell. Too much. It's not quite. I think I'm just going to have to keep it on manual. Look at that red light, man. It's actually quite bright, man. Very bright. It's getting brighter. You can see the way those things are turning around. Yeah, the funny thing is, after seeing some of these Schumann resonance things, I can't help but feel some of the stuff that I saw kind of depicted shit like this. Do you know what I mean? And I'm kind of thinking to myself, were they trying to get a message over? Part of me worries that I was too late in getting, it was just too late. I mean, and I still don't even really have a clue exactly what it is I've got, I mean, I've spent hours and hours looking at it, stripping it, reversing it, flipping it, symmetrying it, finding so much stuff, and all of these animations, all of these different things. It's absolutely incredible, some of it, and but it's difficult. You know, it's intelligently, it's there. There's something intelligent there that's put it there. I don't know if I've got it entirely correct. There could be a number of issues. Do you know what? They seem to be swirling around that cloud.
That's behind the tree.
That was an interesting looking creature. Don't worry.
That's some kind of fly.
It's just a light. It's, like I say, it was a light anomaly, but to be honest, it's quite a crazy light anomaly. I don't think we even need to have the gamma up that high at all at this point. So it's either that or that. That gives a lot more depth. Some crazy sky today. I think they were expecting this. I think they really were expecting this to something that I don't know what it means. Probably nothing. That cloud is deliberately moving in front of. That cloud is deliberately moving in front of that red area. Can you believe it? Come on, don't do that, guys. Come on, move out of the way. If something's coming, just let us fucking see it. Come on. Don't get in the way. Jesus. At least let us see it. At least let us see what's going on. Don't get in the way.
Oh, damn.
The bastards, aren't they? They really are.
You're waiting for hours and then at crucial moments.
Yes, well. That's why there's all this activity going on. All of the cloaked structures and what have you are probably gathering together. I do think that there's some kind of protective fleet of something that exists. You know, like there's a defensive cloaked ship or something that hovers above London, and probably there's one over most capital cities. I would imagine most areas, most populated areas. That's one of the theories I've had. You know, that there's basically these. It's just like docking stations. You know, these things come along. I don't know where they come from exactly. You know, I mean, no knowing. Interdimensionally. From the inner Earth, maybe from fluidic space. If such a thing is possible. The space, I shouldn't even use the word space really. The fluidic, the void, the abyss. Because I mean everything around it is technically the abyss. Well, they've definitely covered up all this stuff, haven't they? I'm very disappointed in you guys. I thought you were trying to help us.
Big fishbowl.
Yeah, there's a. Why is there a light area there and a dark area there? There's no. I mean, we're looking in the east. It's dusk, and we're looking in the east.
Yeah,
it's because whatever it was, they've done something. They've now done their necessary adjustments.
Look at that nice pussycat head. It's morphing already. Okay.
You're alive, dear.
I know. But it was a nice pussycat head, but it morphed into something else. But the white light is...
Giant freaking eye?
The white is freaking weird.
See a bit more of it now. By darkening the rest. You see, I could zoom in, but to be honest, at this point, the zoom would be terrible.
Oh yeah. Certainly digital zoom.
And now that big dark thing's coming on. Or it looks dark because I've turned this up, but then it doesn't look dark. But why would it be so dark by comparison to everything else? Look at the way that light's moving. Whatever's going to happen, it needs to happen. You know, we need to know. We need to be seeing whatever it is we need to be seeing. We need to, this anticipation is going on long enough. Kind of sick and tired of the Sick and tired of sick and tired of it. Really.
Your life, dear. Don't forget it.
Well, I'm sick and tired of all the bullshit that's going on at the moment. You know, I just looks like something very interesting is about to happen, though. Look at that. What is that? Okay, just turn that up. Turn that back, and you can see some dark shadows there. It looked like two things were squaring up to each other. Did you have to be over London, though?
Yeah, I guess you have to see it live.
There's a lot of people here. Yeah. There's some strange little changing of the guard, maybe. Not too sure. Never too sure.
Mm-hmm.
What does Willie Woo think? What does Willie Woo think? Willie, what do you think, Willie Woo? Look at that. Look at that object. And there's clearly something glowing. Glowing there. I've turned the gamma right up so you can see the glowingness. You wouldn't even think it. Look at that. It's not until you. There's definitely a lot of some kind of atmospheric distortion going on too, so you never really know what the fuck it is that's coming through. That's the problem.
I wish I could look behind
it gets stretched. It gets distorted and stretched.
Well, what's going on behind it?
You could try using.
Look through 3 options. I don't know if it's included in this version. What's that? It's an airplane, I guess. It's like flying. My brain.
That plane's left like a tunnel through the sky. Look. Tunnel. That tunnel gradually being erased away. Look at that. You can see a shadow there. Trying to smudge it out. What's that all about? Oh, today is a truly wonderful, weird day, I guess. Maybe I'll check my dashboard and see if anybody's actually bothering to look. Well, I'm public. It never tells me.
Don't be afraid. It's a wet cough.
It's a wet cough. It's a wet cough.
It's wet cough. In case you should have a dry one, use moisturizer.
Okay. Definitely some Serenas.
Not medical advice. You can do it on your own.
See, no one's going to see that now. Not unless you do this. And that. And then put the sharpen up. You get a vague idea of what's going on. A lot of air traffic, considering. What's that all about, huh? Everyone flying off to their secret bunkers.
Oh, but people need to be separated.
Look at all of those weird black lines just suddenly appearing in the sky.
You know why all these planes are out there?
I don't know.
People need to be separated 1.5 meters apart, so they can only get 10 people in an airplane, I guess.
Oh, I
Maybe 15.
see. So it's because of the increase,
So
not the fact that people. Why would people?
that's why they're using all their planes.
But I think the birds are on high alert. They're on high alert at the moment.
It's
Oh
about
well.
the fate of humanity, Lee.
Hmm?
It's about the fate of
The
humanity.
fate of humanity.
Yeah. Can use a plane more or less. Greta won't mind now, I guess.
Greta.
Greta,
Oh, she.
you
She.
stole
Oh,
my
she.
virus.
The Greta virus. What was her? What was her position on the virus?
To be honest, I haven't looked into it nor heard about it. So,
I mean, I don't even want to
well, as per
go into.
usual,
Let's not go
she,
into it. I don't want to go
she,
into it.
she will have no funded.
She had nothing
Yeah,
prepared, huh?
just Google it. Google it.
I
That's what
can't. Okay.
that's what they say. Google it.
Right. Well, I probably won't, but
Me neither, but that's what
I
these
don't care
people are.
enough, and because it's just skipping my own energy. It's skipping too much of my energy away. I can't do it anymore, man. I've been doing it too much.
No, that's how the Flemish movement gets its info about climate change. Google it. It's on
You
the internet.
you Google it.
So it must be true. It's on the
You
internet.
need to cite your resources, cite your references, or
Well,
something.
Google. Isn't Google a reference
Yeah, well,
nowadays?
I can't. I'm not. I hate. I mean, I can understand why it's such a pain in the ass to do. I never like doing it either, really.
Now your video is demonetized. You said pain in the. Mm-mm.
Pain in the nostril.
Yeah. Damn. There go your 2 cents you might have gotten for it.
I feel like
Down the drain.
I feel like the birds are trying to tell me something.
I think they're saying stay, brave in the cult.
What?
Stay in your shed.
If something was above us was to happen, I'm on the top floor of where I live. There's only 4 floors, and if something serious enough to rip the roof off, type of thing, I could get seriously hurt.
Well, depends on the director. Some directors love to, yeah, have these like domino effects with flat buildings, where one kicks over the other and so on.
Oh, really?
And
There
others.
could be other ways that I could die within this building, not just from the roof being ripped off.
Oh yeah. You could even drown, maybe.
Drown?
It depends on the director and the movie.
What do you mean? Hang on, what?
I'm just
You're talking about this performance?
thinking about all these disaster movies and the different kind of possibilities you have in your.
That sounds so fun.
Well,
All the possibilities.
yeah.
To really find out, we'd have to go interview all of the film writers that have written a death scene and ask them questions. It's called research. Oh, they want me to do the face. They want me to do the half screen thing now.
Yeah. All the orange is gone.
They're telling me. Look, you can tell. You do little faces, little patterns like this, which indicates to me, so I can see it. I can see that they're saying, "We're here. Could you put the thing on, please?" And then I go, "Okay." Then they wanted me to put the thing on, so then I put the thing on. Sounds like there's more than one there. Willy-woo. See, they all went quiet when they saw me come to the window. What's wrong? Oh, they're having some kind of meeting. Yep. What's up? I'm trying to. They're all gathered. They're having a meeting. They've all gone in now. They were calling out to me. That was weird. There was a whole group of them. All of them. All of the Willy-woos were there. There was about 3 or 4 of them. They were saying, "You need to listen to me." I'm like, "Well, I'll try." And I thought to myself, I was like, I don't understand what's happening. I think basically they're saying something's going on, and they just want, I don't know. Well, I mean, we're fucked really, because I haven't learned how to speak nature spirit, so it's going to be a bit of an issue. Huh?
Yeah, there's something going on, but what it is ain't exactly clear.
Anticipation, man. I can feel it. It's like that red old colouring just now. I don't know. I'm excited, but also kind of. I don't know why. Why would I be excited? It's. I think the hysteria is actually getting to me, not because not because I've indulged in it, but because the craziness of everyone else, I think, is actually becoming infectious in itself. You know. I don't know what I'm gonna fucking do if something bad happened. I'm pretty useless at this kind of thing. So that'd be me screwed. Oh look, we've got some people in the hey.
Shit.
Let's see what happens. There's some well, that's about it really, isn't it? At this point, because it's so dark, we're kind of in the in-between stage. So at night time it's a different matter, and I have to adjust things slightly. So the in-between stage is when it's just really awkward. This is the bit where I've always theorized that it's like that everything inverts. So everything that was a cloud becomes the sky, and everything that was the sky becomes a cloud. It's really weird, but you kind of notice there's a point in the mornings and in the evenings, where the sky just seems to change completely. I can hear them again. They're talking about me. There is some interesting.
That line is something weird.
Yes, it is a bit, isn't it? It's not the first time. There's been several of those so far. I can't help but feel that there is something else, there's other stuff going on. But, I mean, this is the worst time to be doing this, really, because it's the in-between stage. Oh, I know what I could do. If I want to push my computer even more, this might be a bit much. Yike. Okay.
Boom, 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 boom. That's nice.
There you go. So I've just put on the light delay filter thing that I used to use a lot.
For a minute it looked like the line was already there.
No, it appears that it's a gigantic rocky surface, maybe. Pretty big. It's not the first. This isn't the first time. This isn't the first time I've seen something like this, though. This has been happening a lot. During the night usually, but it looks like clouds to most people. But the pattern of texture actually suggests not clouds, really. That's why all you have to do is adjust the colouring a little bit, and it really does transform what it. Oh, being called again, summoned by the. Hey guys. Yeah, I know. You okay? Need a wee bit. See, they call me. They know to call me. See?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just checking to see you're okay. I think they were having a bit of a meeting. What is that?
Yeah.
That's unusual, isn't it? It looks a little bit familiar.
It's not your average airplane.
It's not, is it? It looks a little bit familiar. Maybe the faces might be able to tell us something. Oh. Okay, so I need to make some additional adjustments. There's too much. Okay. go. That looks a bit familiar.
Oh, nice.
That looks kind of familiar, doesn't it? It looks a little bit familiar. Why does that look familiar? Are they friends or are they... Oh my. Okay, that's kind of unusual. We'll go back to the symmetry, that'll help.
-23 degrees here, Celsius. But sometimes
See?
it's like it drops 10 degrees and it's chilly and
You can see how they invert it.
Chilly.
Sorry.
It's weird. And if I burn sage, it goes away.
Oh, so it's not a bad practice to burn sage. Look at the way.
No. Sad enough. I'm out of it almost. Oh, look in the middle. The peace bell.
Mm-hmm. It's odd, isn't it? Oh, now the fidelity is going. I wonder why that is. Oh, is it because you've decided to turn on your weird little barriers? It's really hard to work out exactly how to look at it because it looks like a face, two sides, profile. That's what they want. Yeah, look at that. Now, if that isn't a human face, I don't know what is. That looks like my human face, that's the other thing. It looks like my fucking face.
Only in a lot of minutes or two.
Do I really have such an obvious dimple in my nose there? Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, I can feel there's a bit of a dip there. Look at that. Can you see that big round thing? Can you see that round thing coming through? Look at that.
Yeah.
What is that big round thing? Interesting. So that round thing has now adjusted itself. There you go. Okay, well, there's definitely something there, isn't there? What is that blue? What was that blue round thing? Take off the gamma because you probably don't need that at the moment. You can still see the red colouring, right?
That's what I think.
But there's a big luminescent blue thing there.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way that would be doing it is if it's emitting its own light. I mean, you can see the light on that airplane just going by and how that works. That's a light that's being emitted. Drain the swamp. It's just. I mean, just bear in mind this is a worldwide situation, and the fact that see, I've kind of deductive reasoning to a degree. You see, it's I'm not even sure. I don't even think. Part of me doesn't even believe that the coronavirus is real, and that actually is just a psyop to manipulate people's psychological manipulation, and right. So, yeah, psychological manipulation, and the other thing, I think it's an excuse. It's being used as an excuse and a reason to clamp down and impose some kind of martial law type situation without actually declaring it. They're using the device of a medical pandemic as an excuse, but I don't believe that's entirely true. I think there's an event that they've been expecting and planning for a long time, something that they may not necessarily have control or any way to stop. And I think my way of thinking about it is that it's a cyclic thing, something that happens on a regular basis, and I think, I don't know, man. I oscillate between one extreme to the other. Sometimes it feels like, it's deliberate, and other times it feels that those things, even good things are painful sometimes. So I don't know. It's just difficult to see when you're in the midst of it, isn't it? I'm trying to work out why that's. Oh, was that too much? Can you just make that down? Yeah, see, this is the bluey red thing that I see on a regular basis. I mentioned in my human resonance video. It's really blurry, isn't it? But there's not much you can do about that. The main thing is shape, texture, and color. Maybe a little less. This is the red and the blue. And it's very strong, considering how dark it is now. It's night time now. This is the kind of stuff I've been seeing. And it does remind me of the stuff that I was looking at in the Schumann resonance as well. It just has to...
Yeah.
I keep seeing a ram, like a big ram, and when I look at that right now, it's like seeing the front of a ram. He got the front of his horns kind of coming out in front of you. It's almost as if to say, because Mars is Aries, isn't it? So Mars is in the middle of a conjunction with Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter at the moment. And Aries comes after Pisces. Or does it? No, it does. It does. Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo. So it's like I keep seeing visions of Aries, and it's almost like this impatient ram is trying to clamber through and have his moment, but it's like, no, Pisces isn't over yet, mate. You wait. still got that confusion and stuff going on. They do keep showing me lots of. Yeah, tonight's a weird one because of all the weird colour, and I'm having to use extra. Definitely the smoke screen thing, that little blurry barrier thing has come up, hasn't it? They do that sometimes, but then, to be honest, at this time of night with basic web cameras, this is pretty good. They're really going to get much better on this. Now what was I going to do? I was going to look at time passages and look where the moon is at the moment. So the moon is in Sagittarius. The material world can seem to be of greater importance than usual. You'll feel a heightened sense of pleasure in the beauty of the world around you. Financial issues also get an emotional boost during this period. Now is also a good time for digging into projects. Now I'm wondering, is this going to be based on my moon or the general moon of the populace? That's daily horoscope. I guess now it's going to be where the things are at the moment. So, well, something big is flying through. That's yeah, there's definitely a focus issue going on here. Come on, guys, get it in check. Get it together. Right, so I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to turn the gamma on. I'm going to try to enhance this a little bit. Right, so there's like a big glowing triangular thing going on there. That's normal. Do like seeing those big old triangles flying over me. They always give me a lot of comfort. I assume that they can see through the ceiling, so I'd kind of just wave anyway. I just go, I don't even bother sticking my head out the window anymore. Well, we know you're looking, so is there really any? I mean, it's like a roof is just an illusion, really, isn't it? So I may as well just be here naked, and it doesn't even matter. So I think that's the way I see things now. I just assume, look at this. This isn't. Look at this. This is just insanity. Like, this isn't. Look at that. And see, you'll notice the line that they've left there as well, which is left. And that's partly because of the filter I've used. The filter is allowing us to see that they are literally leaving a line there. Oh, that's way too much there, but you can see some kind of... so that thing that was passing over us just now is kind of just now going over there.
Oh, shit. I sure...
Right, so let's,
oh, sorry. I used the S word.
You can say whatever you fucking like. My show isn't made for kids. It's not. Yeah, it's not censored, right? So there are faces and all kinds of interesting things going on, man. Incredible. There's nothing to worry about. I mean, I don't know. I don't worry about it because I'm trying to go through the process of coming to terms with my own mortality. And it's like, well, you know, I've got to look at it and also look at it from a practical, logical sense that if something happened and, you know, looking at things the way it is, I wouldn't want to be left over to pick up the pieces. I wouldn't, you know, with whatever injury or healing that would need to happen as well, and then on top of that to kind of clear things up. And part of me is like, no, I think I'd rather just be wiped out in the first instance. Start again. I don't want to be. I don't want to go through any more pain and suffering, basically. And I think that's a worthy and honourable thing to way to feel. This has been being human has been quite a harrowing experience. And for me personally, particularly in more recent years, as I've been waking up and stuff, and realising that it's difficult to take comfort in a lot of the things that I used to take comfort in, because those things also led me astray or put me in a worse place. But the thing is, there doesn't seem to be anything out there at the moment, anyway, which really fulfills any need or desire or want in me, aside from continuing my lines of inquiry and my creativity and my artistry. They're the only things that matter to me. Even if I don't make money, it doesn't matter. I just want to have this time to be able to do that. This matters to me. It's the only thing that's given my life any meaning or value in my own personal mind, anyway. For me, which is the most important thing to try and do. Be happy. And it's difficult to find happiness when a lot of the things you used to do didn't, no longer bring you happiness. It's like a lot of the functions of the world and society in which we live are beginning to fail the needs of many people. And there are a lot of weary, wary, depressed, sad, anxious people out there who are unable to self-actualize or realize their dreams or potential, because the system itself is rigged to prevent most people from ever getting very far, not without immense pain and suffering. And obviously opportunities to learn and grow from that, of course, but I think I've just about had enough of it personally. I'm kind of in that place at the moment where I'm struggling to see the silver lining to anything. However, I know that is also just where my mood is at the moment. I feel overwhelmed by everything that's happening, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. And I think it's the appropriate response at the moment in most humans is to feel overwhelmed by all the energies which are happening. I feel that it's the appropriate response, but appropriate, or reaction anyway. So now we need to respond to that reaction. The reaction of how are we going to respond to it? I guess we can talk about it, and as long as we're talking about it in a productive and constructive way, it has a positive and beneficial effect. If it becomes destructive, hysterical, whatever, then obviously it's not going to be helpful. So the idea is to try and keep things in perspective and talk about things constructively, or like what my Skies 5D said earlier. So again, in my live chat, I try to see things as opportunities to grow and to learn. So there you go. Sometimes the New Age stuff can help. It's yeah. But actually, the funny thing is, I think Thomas Sheridan was saying in his video, wasn't he, that you see even New Agers panicking and stuff. How can you say it's a good time for magic? No, he's absolutely right. The energy is high. This is the thing. This is what I've discovered with my through my journey is that when you're in floods of tears or sobbing or having a really high energetic moment, whether that's up or down, and my ones have been a lot of emotional purging and stuff, so there's been some intense, heavy emotions going on. But those are really powerful times for magic as well. Very powerful times for intention because the energy is so powerful. So sometimes when I'm crying and stuff, I would do a tarot reading or a card reading of some kind, or whatever, and I actually get some really good results. And the way I see it is, if you're in a high emotional state, your energies are really powerful, so you're connecting much better to your cards and therefore your higher self as well. It can be achieved. You can still reach it even when you're sad. It's just more effort, that's all. Sometimes you can be so blocked up that you can't feel anything. I think that's when everything gets on top of you. When you're in a real serious kind of survival mode situation, at that time you're not calm enough or reflective enough to really tune in, because you're basically in a state of immediate reactive nowness. Your now becomes like consumed by the reaction. Well, the fact that we're kind of seeing kind of cubes and other things going on, all that rectangular stuff just now, to me that suggests there's some interesting stuff going on. And this, the way the light's moving there, that's something I've noticed a lot. Every time I use this filter, actually, particular, it becomes very prominent that it's always there, particularly at night time. And I've even, I've even zoomed into it to get closer to it, and then you realise it's got the same elements of symmetry that I find in the Schumann resonance and in my artwork, and the only difference is it's live, and you realise it's moving at an incredible rate. It's in a constant state of transformation. I guess I don't know. I call it the ether. Because it's moving in spirals, it's just continuously circulating around and creating amazing geometry here. So this is one of the things I've noticed for a very long time. Whenever I've used this filter, and it's something that's kind of turned up now and again, reminded me it's there. And now through the Schumann resonance as well, I get to see the same effect, the same symmetry. Okay, so what's going on here? Let's move this down. Nighttime changes everything. There you go. Yeah. So now we're going to be going into a slightly different mode. Just under there. There it is. Okay. It's amazing how So grainy. What would people be doing on a Saturday night in Britain? What did I used to do? I used to go out to the pub or the bar or wherever. Just wouldn't interest me now. Sometimes it can actually be pretty good at night. But I think today there seems to be
Heb je, vergeet je mijn tasje?
okay. Big old eye turns up. That way or that way. Which way do you want to go, guys? Because I need you to help me here. That way? This way?
Ja.
Something about a
Ja, graag.
pyramid.
Ja.
Interesting how it goes out of focus so quickly. I was with Martin Leaker. I did not know that he was doing a live.
What's the campus? The ember. Correct. Yeah.
Something with wings. But it's just. So you can even see a blue colouring up there. What could it? Because you know it's not a cloud. So what could it be? That's the thing. None of the patterns, none of the shapes have any reference point for us. Some of it looks like a runway, you know, like a slope that goes zigzags. But well, okay, let's stop fucking around and upside down. Takes up way too much processor power. Oops. Do I need to just keep that up? I think maybe I should make some soup or something. I guess people would call that a shelf cloud, would they? I didn't even know anymore. Well, we've been going for about an hour now, so I think I'm going to leave it there for a bit. And if it gets more interesting, Oh, I think I might leave it there. That's our friends. Anything more to share with us? You should consider making dinner. Right. I'm going to end it there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon.